Good morning, Makers Church. Pastor Shalise here. Now, some of you may not know that I am a high school teacher by trade, and this week starts the first week of the fall semester. Now, I don't know about you, but this upcoming school year is going to be unlike anything I have ever experienced before. And I just want to give a huge shout out to all of our students, all of our amazing, resilient parents, and I just wanted to encourage you that you can do hard things. But I also wanted to remind you that you are not alone. So if you are facing any challenges this year, be it school, be it just being with your children so much, or just longing for community, maybe you're really feeling the ache of us not being able to gather together, I just wanted to let you know that you are not alone. We are in this with you. And the best way for you to let us know that you are here is to text the word makers to 97000. We would love to connect with you and just discuss different ways that you can get involved with the church, even during these uncertain times. We have amazing things happening throughout the week and across the city, ways that we are continuing to serve our neighbors, continuing to show up for one another, continuing to be a church that is committed to being here for good. And we would love to partner with you. So head on over to our website, makerschurch.org, and find out all of the details about upcoming events and opportunities to serve. But hey, we just want to say from the bottom of our hearts, we so appreciate your faithfulness and your generosity. We could not continue to even do this to be the church if it was not for you and the ways that you continue to partner with us. And so if you are giving currently to Makers Church, we just wanted to thank you. Because of your gifts and your donations and your tithes, we have been able to just show up in so many practical ways for different organizations in our city, for family members in our community, and we've really been able to continue to be the church during these difficult and challenging times. So thank you so much. If you are interested in giving, there are lots of ways you can do so online and continue to support the ministry here at Makers Church. Hey, we're about to hear an incredible message in a few minutes from Pastor Derrick, and I just encourage you to lean in, to get curious, and to just ask God to speak a good word, a good truth to you this morning. We're so grateful for you joining us. We hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Walking around these walls, and I thought by now they'd fall, but you have never failed me yet. Waiting for change to come, knowing the battle's won, for you have never failed me yet. Your promise still stands, great is your faithfulness, faithfulness. I'm still in your hands. This is my confidence. You've never failed me yet. Oh, you never failed me. I know the night won't last. Your word will come to pass. My heart is your faithfulness, faithfulness. I'm still in your hands. This is my confidence. You've never failed me yet. You never failed me.
Hey, good morning, Makers Church, and welcome to those of you who are joining us here for the first time. If we've never met, my name is Derrick, and I serve here as the lead pastor. If we've never met also, I'd like to just tell you a little bit about my family this morning. I have an amazing wife named Laurel, and she helps lead here at Makers, and she also works as a physician's assistant in the emergency room, and is also doing some stuff in education. And we together have three amazing kids. Blake, who is about to turn 9 next week, my daughter Kira, who's 6, and our daughter Aubrey, who's almost 3 in November. And Blake and Kira actually start school tomorrow virtually, whatever that means. We're not exactly quite sure how it's all going to work, but they're starting. Blake's going to be in 3rd grade and Kira in 1st grade, and Aubrey is just hanging around at home with us, enjoying being a little one. And we love to travel together as a family. We love adventures. We love to go camping. And so this year, of course, has been, pretty challenging and interesting in many ways. If you're like us, there's been so many challenges, whether it's with parenting and even marriage. But there's also just been some really, really sweet moments that wouldn't have been possible without our kind of forced close proximity to each other. We've gotten to know each other as a family really well. And we've gotten to know each milestone and each new personality that has come along through all of this. And while it's true that not all of us are in the same situation, right? Not everybody has 3 kids, in the elementary age, although many of you do. Some of you are empty nesters. Some of you have teenagers. Some of you are single parents. And yet others of you are single or maybe grandparents. And not every one of us is in the same situation. We all have our own unique set of challenges and things that have been going on in this season as it pertains to family. But I think one thing that we all have in common, one thing that we're all struggling with, one thing that we all need help making some sense of is, what does it mean to be a friend? What does friendship look like, and how does it work even outside of a world pandemic? I think if we're really honest with ourselves, friendship is really challenging. And that's exactly what I want to talk about this morning. We all struggle for connection and for intimacy and friendship. We all have this inner compass that knows that this is something that we need to long and strive to find. But along the way, we can get hurt and we struggle to find that one or a few people who can truly get us. And this season has made friendship even more challenging. Not just because of social distancing or our inability to gather together in close spaces, but beyond that, it's been so challenging because we're beginning to realize that the people we love and trust the most perhaps see things differently than we do. Maybe they're on the other side of an issue or an argument. Maybe we have different risk tolerances when it comes to social distancing or our view on mask wearing. And all of those things can begin to bubble up and begin to separate us. And I think now more than ever, we need to learn from the scriptures on what it means for us to be a true friend in season and out of season. What does it mean for us to be true friends even during an election year, even during a really challenging world pandemic? I also work as a firefighter, and the firefighter world is pretty much like family. We live and work together for many days on end, and every station has 3 different shifts, and the morning is usually shift change, and there's kind of the oncoming crew and the outgoing crew, and we always have a good time having coffee and catching up with each other, and there's 2 guys that work opposite shift of me. And they're newer guys on the fire department, and they have been partners together for a little while, and they've become like best friends. And the funny thing is, and we make fun of them all the time, is they're both redheads. And so we call them the gingers, we call them, the twins. They're 2 peas in a pod. They're kind of, they always kind of come together. Even on and off duty, they hang out together. They're really good friends. And it's been neat to see their friendship kind of develop over a course of time. And it was funny, one morning they came in for work. We were going off duty, and we noticed that one of them was kind of sitting down having coffee, and he had a new tattoo kind of peeking out from underneath his shorts on his lower near his knee area. And we kind of asked, like, hey, what's your new tattoo all about? And he pulled his shorts up a little bit, and they were he had a really fresh brand new tattoo. And it was this really, really cool ship, like a old kind of pirate looking ship. And it was like, hey, wow, man, that's really cool. That's great, Hey, and as we looked around, we noticed the other guy had a new tattoo kind of peeking out from underneath his shorts, almost in the same spot. And we were like, hey, what did you get? And he pulls up his shorts a little bit and reveals the tattoo, and it's the exact same ship. And we kind of look around and we're like, dude, what is up? What are you guys doing? And they both kind of looked in sync, and they looked at all of us and they're like, duh, they're friendships. And we had a big laugh and had a good time making fun of them. And they're like the epitome of what we call a bromance, on the job. And, just really 2 close friends. I mean, to the degree that they would get matching tattoos. And as much as we poked fun at them, I think if all of us are honest with ourselves, we long to have that kind of a friend. We long to have that close of a friendship. Isn't it interesting if you stop and think for a while and look back over your experience growing up as a kid, how many different like BFFs you had, how many best friends or close friends that you've had throughout your life? Isn't it amazing that best kind of should mean one, but we've all kind of gone through many. My son Blake is about to turn 9 next week, and as we're preparing his 2020 COVID-style outdoor park hang birthday kind of party, we're like, hey, who do you want to come? And he's made a long list of his BFFs, of his best friends, and they're all his best friends. If you think about it, do you ever wonder, like, where'd they all go? What happened to that soulmate, that soul sister, that close brother, that person that was just like your closest friend through a certain season? Isn't it amazing how many we can go through? And if you stop and you think about it for a little while and you look back, there's so much shrapnel left behind. It seems as if the only way to figure out how to have a good friend and how to be a good friend is through trial and error, through pain and through failure. But what if we can avoid that altogether? What if it didn't have to be through trial and error or through pain and through failure? What if we didn't have to learn through trusting someone and then experiencing betrayal? Or what if there was some wisdom that could inform and then form the way that we approached friendships? That's what I love about the scriptures, specifically the book of Proverbs. It's full of wisdom that would show and reveal to us how we should approach friendship. And that's what I want to look at for the rest of the morning. Friendship is an elusive word, isn't it? I mean, who exactly are your friends? Are your coworkers your friends? Are your colleagues your friends, your classmates? I've got a huge problem with this because everybody's my friend. I mean, the guy who changes my oil is my friend. The person who makes my coffee, the barista, is my friend. And I just assume that everybody is my friend. What makes you a friend? Is it the moment you choose to follow each other on Facebook, or are the people that we kind of chalk up and say are friends, are they really our friends? Wouldn't it be nice if friendship was actually like Facebook? If all it took to become friends was to just click invite or add a friend, and the moment that pairing happened online, that boom, all of a sudden we were just fast friends. Wouldn't it be nice to take an assessment of our life and know how many friends we have by looking at the number of quote-unquote friends we have on Facebook or on Instagram? And what actually makes somebody our friend anyways? Is it the way they relate to us? Or is it the way we relate to them? It seems like the art of friendship is a lost art these days. I think one of the problems is we've become so utilitarian in our approach to friendship. It's always an aim or an attempt to become friends with somebody who might be able to offer us something in return. Somebody that might be able to get us something that we might want. It comes at the cost of networking. So many times self-interest gets in the way. Sometimes we don't even know we're doing it. We don't even know what's truly motivating us. Sometimes we move close to someone simply because they have something that we want. And oftentimes that ends in hurt. It ends in pain. It ends in disappointment. And I think one thing's for certain is that there's no lack of people around. I mean, even during this pandemic, even during this time of social distancing, perhaps we're more aware of how many people there actually are around. If you just look out your window, you see so many people walking around and running around. If you go to the store, or God forbid the DMV, and you're standing in a forever non-ending line to get in somewhere, you're immediately aware of how many people there actually are. Especially when they get too close to you or bump into you and you feel like you need to take a shower because who knows what people are carrying these days. And it's amazing how even when you're in the midst of so many people, how alone you can still feel. What we long for isn't proximity to other people. What we long for is a deep connection, a mutual understanding, a bond that goes beyond our closeness. So what really makes a true friend? Have you ever really experienced true friendship? Let us look through the Proverbs and see what they might say about what it means to be a friend. Now, before we continue, I want to address something here. What I love about the scriptures is that they're intended to guide your life. They're not an opportunity for us to cut and paste stuff and send it to the people who we think ought to be living a certain way as the scriptures tell us. No. It's not about cutting this and sending it to somebody. It's not an opportunity for us to take an assessment on how somebody is being a friend to us. Rather, the scriptures are a moment and an opportunity for us to take a self-assessment to guide our lives. And so I don't want you to focus this morning on applying this as an assessment tool on how your friends are doing in their friendship towards you. Rather, this is an opportunity for us to take an assessment of our own lives and how we are showing up in our friendship towards others. So I don't want you cutting and pasting. I don't want you sending nudges to your friends. I want you dwelling and reflecting and meditating on these things as you look inward as to how you are being a friend in this season. So the first thing that the scriptures point us to in the book of Proverbs is this idea that true friends are few and far between. True friends are few and far between. This is what the scriptures say in Proverbs 18:24. It says, "A man of many companions may come to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother." A man of many companions may come to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. Now, this one's really challenging for me because if you look at my Gallup Strengths Finders, I have woo in my top 5 talent themes. And what I love to do is I love to win others over. I love to collect friends. I love to be friends with as many people as I possibly can, and maybe you're the same. And this idea that friends are few and far between becomes really challenging to you, as it does to me. But if you really begin to look closely at what you have the capacity for to be a friend, you realize that you are limited in your own capacity to be a true friend to other people. And what that does is it helps us to focus on a few people that we can really be intentional about being friends to and friends with for our lives. And I know that is really, really challenging. It's really troublesome for some of you. Yet for others of you, you're like, I'm good. I just need one. And maybe you're here watching and you're realizing that you don't even have the one. And I think so many times we can become discouraged or even depressed over our lack of depth in our friendships or even our lack of breadth of friendships. And what I want you to hear this morning is that if you can really focus on being a friend, you will always have a friend. If you will focus on being a friend rather than finding a friend, you will always have a friend. Now, it's easy for us to just sit and wait for somebody to come and pursue us, for somebody to come and rescue us. And while that seems like the right thing to do, what the scriptures point us to is less about sitting and waiting, but more about becoming active in the way that we pursue others. And so rather than sitting and waiting and assessing and measuring whether or not somebody is your friend, let's take time and evaluate whether or not we are being friends. Who are the few and far between that we are committed to, that we are faithful to, that we are loyal to? The Proverbs say this. They also say that true friends are constant, that true friends are regular, that they're loyal, that they're committed to each other. It says this in Proverbs 17:17. It says, "A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for a time of adversity." It says a friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for a time of adversity. If this isn't the time of adversity, I don't know what is. If this isn't the best season to be evaluating and assessing how we are showing up as friends to others, I don't know of a better time to do this kind of work. I know that it's an easy thing to look around and point the finger at those who haven't showed up, who haven't reached out, who haven't asked how you're doing. But who's the last person you did that for? And if you really want to know who are your friends, you'll be able to answer it by who the people are that you are reaching out to. Who are the people that you are showing up for in times of adversity, in times of chaos? And if you want to truly know if somebody is your friend, it's the people that you're willing to get dragged through the mud with. The people that are drama, the people that cost you energy and angst, the people that you stay up worried about. Those are the people that you are being a friend to. A true friend is present and makes sacrifices for them. Who are the people that you sacrifice for, that you sweat for? Who are the people that you say yes to helping move? Who are the people who you babysit for free? Who are the people that you would bring soup to when they're sick? And when you don't expect it in return, when you don't do it for repayment, the people that you make great sacrifice for. I think of one of the stories in my own lives where it pointed to who I knew my friend was. Is Laurel and I had been engaged to be married, and we set our wedding date, and then we had to move it because I got hired by the fire department, went into the fire academy, and And after all of that stuff had gotten sorted out, we realized that one of my very best friends had also gotten engaged and had planned his wedding. And his wedding was the weekend after our wedding. And the big question is will we shorten our honeymoon to show up and be in their wedding? And the answer was a resounding yes. It caused a time of adversity. It caused a time of chaos where we were making our own plans, where we were excited about our own marriage and our own honeymoon, but we knew that this would be a lifelong friendship. And that if we made a sacrifice here, that it would be worth it. That this was something that we wanted to do, to sacrifice for this friendship. And while we live in different cities, while we aren't seeing each other every day, we're still truly committed friends. Now, the Proverbs also tell us that true friends don't gossip. It says this in Proverbs 20:19. It says, "A gossip betrays a confidence, so avoid a man who talks too much." A gossip betrays a confidence, so avoid a man who talks too much. Now, I know that we're all guilty of this. You ever have those moments where you're like, "Psst, don't tell anybody this, but ... I know it. I do it. You do it. We've all done it. But a true friend is somebody who can keep a true secret. Now, my wife, Laurel, is so good at this. She's like a vault. I mean, if you tell her something, she will not. I can't tell you how many of our friends have been pregnant or something going on in their life, and I find out about it on Instagram. She knew like 2-3 weeks or months before I did, and she doesn't tell me. She can keep a secret. Now, there's a difference between keeping a secret and being secretive, and we don't need to get into that this morning. But a true friend is somebody who you can trust. And you know that you are being a true friend if you are somebody who can be trusted. Trusted with important stuff. Trusted with confidential stuff. And the scriptures in Proverbs, they tell us that a gossip betrays confidence. And I know that if we did our own self-assessment, we can all probably do better here. But if you want to know who you're being a great friend to, it's the people whose word you're keeping. The person whose word you're keeping. Proverbs 16:28 also says this, "A perverse person stirs up conflict, and a gossip separates close friends." It says that a gossip separates close friends. And I can't tell you how many times I've stuck my foot in my mouth, or how many times I've made the mistake of leaking something that I said that I wouldn't. And I know that to be a better friend, that I need to be able to be trusted and to hold a confidence with people. And so the scriptures point to us that true friends, they don't gossip, they don't talk behind your back, they don't talk negatively about you. Now, what they do say is also this, that a true friend is somebody who has wise counsel, somebody that can offer guidance. And so, if you want to know if you're being a true friend or not, it's people that you share wisdom with, not that you'd keep it for yourself. If there's when you discover something good for you, that you'd be able to share it with somebody else. Proverbs 12:26 says, "The godly give good advice to their friends. The wicked lead them astray." The godly give good advice to their friends, and the wicked lead them astray. I can think of so many times in my life where I was confused or conflicted or didn't know how to make a good decision. And it was through the advice of wise counsel and close friends that I was able to make a decision. Perhaps one of the most challenging decisions in my life was whether or not to move from the San Diego Fire Department to the Orange County Fire Department. I had gotten hired there after I was hired here. And all the signs pointed to going there. It was a better opportunity, better pay, better benefits, better everything. But I was really conflicted because I had a sense of calling to be here. And this is before we had launched the church, before we had really committed to be all in San Diego. And it was really through wise counsel of close friends that I was able to make that decision. In hindsight, it would always be 2020, but we have never regretted the decision to stay planted, to stay rooted here. And that advice came through wise counsel. Even though it didn't make the most sense on paper, it was through the closeness and bond of friendship that I was able to discern and listen to what the right thing might be to do. Now, it says here in Proverbs 27:17, it says, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. And that's another great measure of friendship. Are you helping people get better? Are you helping them get better? Proverbs 27:9, it says, perfume and incense bring joy to the heart, and the pleasantness of one's friend springs from his earnest counsel. Now, what that means is that we need to be able to give and get advice that might really be tough. It might really be challenging to hear. But what the scriptures say is that we don't give lip service to our friends. That we don't just say what they want to hear. We don't just butter them up or tell them the easy thing to say. No, instead, they take us here. They take us to be people who are honest and truthful. It says this in Proverbs 27, verse 5 and 6. It says, better is open rebuke than hidden love. Better is open rebuke than hidden love. Wounds from a friend can be trusted. Whew. Wounds from a friend can be trusted, but an enemy multiplies kisses. See, what the Proverbs are showing us is that a true friend is somebody who will be willing to say the hard thing, to rebuke you, to give you the wise counsel that you may not even be asking for. So who are the people that you're being honest with and honest to? Proverbs 28 verse 23 says, he who rebukes a man will in the end gain more favor than he who has a flattering tongue. Now, I've just got to say that one of the greatest gifts that I have is my close friendship with our pastoral team here at Maker's Church. Pastor Mark and Pastor Shalise, Pastor Glenn, even Pastor Rob, even though he's retired, and Pastor Jess, who's stepping out of her role. We have a deep bond of friendship where we're committed to telling each other the truth, to give an open rebuke, to give honest and authentic feedback, even when it isn't asked for. And in this relationship, committed to receiving it as well. I think there's no greater gift in a friendship than to tell the hard truth and to have the hard truth be told to you. And so the Proverbs point us to that in order to be a great friend, that we would be people who are honest with each other. Now, the scriptures have already pointed us in so many tangible ways on how we can be great friends. We'd be somebody who's loyal, somebody who speaks positively about somebody who gives guidance and counsel, who is truthful, even when it may hurt. But what the scriptures teach us about what it means to be a true friend are not only sound principles to live by. No, it's not just great wisdom to help us live our best lives, to have healthy friendships, but instead what they're actually doing, what the scriptures are actually up to is they're telling the story of how God has chosen to relate to us. See, each of these principles capture the truth about how Jesus relates to us. Let me show you here. See, the scriptures tell us that Jesus himself is ferociously loyal. That Jesus himself is ferociously loyal as a friend. He loves us even while we're yet sinners. It says this in Romans 5:8, that while we were still sinners, that Christ died for us. That his loyalty would have no bounds, that we would not be able to do anything that could undo his willingness to pursue us. That while we were yet sinners, he died for us. And the scriptures say this, that Jesus, he doesn't gossip. Listen to what 1 John 1:21 says. It says, "My dear children, I write this to you so that you will not sin. But if anybody does sin, we have the one who speaks to the Father in our defense, Jesus Christ, the righteous one." See, Jesus isn't speaking to the Father and saying, look at what they've done, look at what they're doing. No. The scriptures say that Jesus is speaking to the Father on our behalf in our defense. That he's taking our side, that he is the one who's saying, no. I believe in these people. I am for him and for her, for you. The scriptures say that Jesus doesn't gossip. Instead, he speaks beneficially on our behalf to the Father. And the scriptures also show us time and time again that Jesus can give us guidance for our lives, that he can give us wise counsel, that he can give us good advice. And this is the reason why we call ourselves Christ followers. We believe that aiming to live a life the way Jesus lived his life is a worthy way to spend our life. That trying to model our lives after the way Jesus lived his life is the best bet that we can become truly human. And the scriptures say that Jesus gives us guidance time and time again. He even says so himself when he says, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." He says, "I'm the way, the truth, and life. I am your guidance, the counsel, the wisdom, and how to live a full life." And the scriptures also say that Jesus is truthful to us. He's honest. He says the hard thing. If you just open the scriptures, you'll see the rebuke that Jesus gives the Pharisees, which we can often find ourselves in the story of. Jesus rebukes the religious people and the people who are unforgiving, the people who are unwilling to serve the least of these. And Jesus speaks the hard truth, gives an open rebuke. But it also says in the scriptures that we as human beings, that we can enjoy a true friendship with God. It says in Romans 5:10, "For since our friendship with God was restored by the death of his Son, while we were still his enemies, we will certainly be saved through the life of his Son." And the scriptures say that we can have a friendship with God, and it happens by having a relationship with Jesus. Now, I know how difficult and trying it can be to get a sense of what it means to have a good friend and to be a good friend. But we have the scriptures here to help us. We have the Proverbs who have given us so much wisdom. But more importantly than that, we have a God who has modeled for us what it means to be a true friend. And God is longing for you to have a friendship with him. And so my hope for you is that you can find it within yourself to start practicing ways of being a good friend. Not to everybody, but to a few. That you would speak highly of them and not gossip. That you would be honest with them. That you'd be loyal to them. That you'd be made for a time of adversity. But more importantly than that, I want you to know and hear this morning that God longs to have a relationship with you. And maybe you have been really growing distant from God in this challenging season. And I want you to hear this morning that God is longing for you to come back to himself. He's longing for you to have a relationship with him. And so maybe today is the day where instead of avoiding God or moving far away from him, that you would choose to move close. And if you're with us this morning and you've never began a friendship with Jesus, maybe today's the day to do that. And we would love to walk alongside of you as you do that, as you choose to become a follower of Jesus with your life. And so we would love to help you make sense of that. And so if you're with us today, and you want to know more or want to decide even right now what it means to follow Jesus with your life, you can pull out your phone and text the word new follower to 97000, and we will reach out to you. We will begin a journey with you as you endeavor to know what it means to be friends with Jesus. Thank you so much for joining us today. Let's pray. God, it is so challenging to be a good friend. Lord, we spend so much time looking around wondering who our true friends are, who really loves us, who's really for us. But God, we don't have any power over that. Lord, I hope that what we heard this morning is the thing that we have power over is who we can be a friend to. And so God, I just pray that even right now, in everybody's hearts and everybody's minds as we're praying, that you would just begin to put names in their head. Put names in our head, God. Who are the people that we are committed to, that we are going to be friends to? God, regardless of whether we agree or disagree on everything, God, regardless of whether we see the same way, see the same issues the same way, God, that we would be born for a time of adversity. So God, would you put on our hearts and our minds, God, those who we can be better friends to? Lord, give us the courage today to reach out to them. Maybe it starts with an apology or just a check-in. And so God, I just pray that you'd help us to become better friends. And God, I pray for anybody here that is yet to become a friend with you, to know and fully embrace and understand, God, the depth of the way that you have chosen to befriend us. God, I pray that today would be a time where they make that decision. And so, Lord, I just invite them into that, and we just pray that you would move mightily. We pray this in your name, Jesus. Amen. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to welcome you if you're new into our community, help you begin a relationship with Jesus if you've not done so yet. And for the rest of you Makers Church family, we love you. We can't wait to be together again. God bless.
Let the King of my heart be the mountain where I run, the fountain I drink from. Oh, he is my song. Let the King of my heart be the shadow where I hide, the ransom for my life. Oh, he is my song. You are good. You're good. Oh, 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 let the King of my heart be the wind inside my sails, the anchor in the waves. Oh, he is my song. Let the King of my heart be the fire inside my veins and the echo of my days. Oh, he is my song. You are good. You're good. Oh, you are good. You're good. Oh, you are good. You're good. Oh, you are good. You're good. Oh.
You're never gonna let me down. 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 You're never gonna let
and the night is holding on to me. God is holding on.
Hey guys, it's me, Drew. Wishing you guys a happy Sunday at Makers. I'm here at Target buying stuff. And yes, I have my mask, but a couple things. I think we need to celebrate some wins here. And the wins that I'm talking about, one is, can we celebrate? There's TP now? There's TP now at the store that you can get. So not only can you spend time in the bathroom, you can spend more quiet time with God, okay? And then the second thing is we all can get some hand sanitizer. Okay, so not only is your soul cleansed by the Holy Spirit, right, wash away from your sins, but you can also wash away that corona. That's a win, all right? So let's get going, all right? Hope you guys are having a good Sunday. Take care. Bye.
Hi Makers, I hope you guys are doing well. So I'm a digital artist, and the first couple of months of quarantine, I was just feeling a total creative block and didn't really have a lot of motivation. But the more that I didn't pressure it, the easier it was to come up with a new hobby. So I have learned, or am learning, the art of digital illustration. So this is of my sister, and this is one of her senior portraits that she loves. So yeah, I hope you guys have been able to find something that is life-giving and fun and doesn't feel like work or pressure or anything of the sort. And this has been mine. Bye guys.
Hey guys, how you doing? Lisa here from Makers Church. Just wanted to ask you a question. What are you doing on Friday? Every Friday at 12 o'clock. Well, if you're not doing anything, I would love to invite you to come out to Zoom prayer every Friday. The scripture tells us in 2 Chronicles 7:14. I'm going to read that to you. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray, seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, I will hear from heaven and I will heal their land. Guys, we need healing. We need people praying and interceding for our pastors, for our churches, for people that are sick, people that are fighting coronavirus, people that are fighting cancer, people that are depressed, business owners, people that have lost their jobs, school, people that are homeschooling their kids now due to coronavirus. Well, we cover all of those things, and we also pray through the scriptures. So God bless you, and I hope I see you on Friday. Take care.